Keisha Paul, and we are the House of Hope Atlanta. Our pastor is Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr., and here we believe that life with God is better in every way, every day. So today we're going to do part 2 of Be Your Brand. And we have with us the amazing, renowned Greg Kirkland Jr. As we told you last week, Greg, say hello to our Boss Up family.
Hello, Boss Up family. So glad to be back. Thank you, Keisha, for having me back. I'm just so excited to be here again.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if you are just joining us, we would like to welcome you. We ask that you share this video with all of your family and friends so that you all can get the abundance of knowledge that is coming from Mr. Greg Kirkland over here. Last week, he told us that you have to make decisions that makes towards your goal. Is that right? Did I get it right?
Absolutely.
All right. Make decisions that make sense towards your goal. And we also learned that consistency breeds longevity.
Absolutely.
All right, now.
You're on it now. You're on it.
Those are words to live by. So as we talked about, you've been with the Sia Choir and the Sia brand and in the music industry over 25 years. And we know that, finding out about longevity coming from you is a great thing. So in doing this for so long, can you tell us what you love most about it and what would you change if you could?
Well, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I love to sing. I love writing. I love directing. I shared on the last show that, see it was something that I would say when I wanted people to understand what it was that I was trying to get them to understand. But see, it also is, it also means that I want people to get the bigger picture, So writing and singing and producing and directing, it allows me to take storylines and bring them to life for people to understand, what it is that we're trying to get them to see. So being able to do that, provide some level of entertainment or some level of enjoyment while people get the chance to learn a new story or hear a new song, things of that sort, is always the great part of what we get to do. I think the thing that I wish could have been done differently, I shared before that the hard part of being an entrepreneur is having to do it all on your own. And even though I don't think that that's a step that you can, there's nothing that you can do to avoid that step as an entrepreneur, as a startup company. But if there was one thing that I could say that I wish I had done sooner, it would be to try to establish a team of people sooner, to establish people around me that could help to get it done. And that was something, to be honest with you, Keisha, that, you hear people say all the time, I do it all on my own. I do it all on my own. I wish I had help. But guess what I had to learn? I had to learn that sometimes help shows up and you have to be open to allowing them to help in their way. Because we can pray for help a lot of times, and then when help doesn't show up the way we want help to look, or when they don't necessarily do it the way we would do it, then, you're obviously not the right person for the job, because I need somebody that can do it the way I would do it. When in all actuality, your greatest helper may have their own formula to help get it done. But as the owner or as the visionary, we have to sometimes learn to step back and say, as long as you are getting the job done in excellence, representing the brand, doing it with my level of character, my level of professionalism, my level of excellence, then even if you do it your way, the end result is that you've helped me to get it done. And so I had to learn that. So, if there's one thing that I could say that I would change if I could go back, it would have been to be more open to help sooner and allowing them and allowing others to help me in the way that they would have been able to help.
Greg, right now you are like speaking my life. I'm
Oh,
one of those people that believe that if I don't do it, it's not going to get done,
yeah.
or it's not going to
Oh,
get done
no.
right.
Oh, no.
I
Uh-uh.
have to pray off that control spirit all
You
the
do.
time
You really do.
because,
You really do.
I'm also a writer, director, producer, and it's very hard to let go of your baby. You know what I mean? And entrust it in someone else's hands and feel that they're going to give it the same nurturing and care and, that you would.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
trying
But
to
if you're
let
not
go and
careful,
allow people to help is hard.
but if you're not careful, what will end up happening is that not only will you start out doing everything on your own, but you'll end up that way as well. So, I mean, the question is, do you really want the help that you pray for? You've got to
Right.
really come to grips with that. You've really got to be okay with letting people come in to help you. Now, again, there has to be a standard. There has to be, an expectation. There has to be a level of excellence. There has to be that you can't bend on those things. But if a
True.
person is helping you and they are demonstrating those characteristics and making sure that those checks and balances are still happening, but they might be doing it their way. They might not do it your way. You have to be okay with that, because that's the
I have
only
to
way you'll
just
ever
give
get
them
help.
the job and walk away. I have to give them the job and walk away because if I stay and watch the process, I got a takeover spirit. I'm just going to jump in and do it.
Well, listen, I mean, at least you recognize that. At least you know that. I'm the same way. I am a control freak. Okay, I know this is Christian television, but if we wanted to consider the zodiac side of things, I'm a Leo,
Scorpio.
king of the jungle. Well, hey, see, I'm used. I know something about Scorpios, but I'm a Leo. So you know, I'm used to being in control. Y'all are used to being in control. Y'all are used to telling folks what to do, and I get it. But I'm the king of the jungle, so I'm used to, being the leader, the person that leads, and the person that is in some level of control. I'm used to being that. And so, because of that, if you're not careful, that spirit of control that is on the both of us will cause us to always be doing it on our own.
That's true.
And Bishop Dale Bronner said some years ago, he said, "You show me a person that professes to be a self-made person, and I'll show you a person that could have gone farther."
Oh, wow.
Because if we don't allow help, if we don't incorporate or create a team of people around us to delegate and allow them to do their part, we'll always be run down, tired, can't really fulfill every obligation that we have, because you're writing and you're recording and you're directing and you're acting and you can't.
I understand. All too well. I understand.
See? See? So it's
So
learned.
right before, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying it's a learned thing. We have to be open to allowing ourselves to learn that. That's all.
I'm learning. It's a hard lesson, but I'm learning.
I get it. I see it.
So right before we ended last show, my growth.
Yes.
Oh, great. Good. I'm doing something right.
Okay, I won't interrupt you anymore.
So
I'm out.
it's fine. Right before the last show ended, we was talking about how 2020 affected the brand and how the biggest part of your brand, the See It Choir, had to pivot. That's something we've been talking about a lot here on Boss Up, because a lot of retail stores and everywhere else during this COVID-19 situation had to pivot and change their business model, and just in order to survive, and not everyone was able to do it. What did your pivot look like? I know you all were used to performing in front of a large crowd, and you say you went virtual. What did that look like? How did you inform people or market that?
Um, what I would do is I would uh, first of all, let me tell you what my first introduction into that was. Right at the top of the pandemic, Mr. Tyler Perry did a challenge called "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands." He did a "He's Got the Whole
I
World"
remember.
challenge, and he had all kinds of celebrities and artists and things of that sort get involved and put their spin on it. Well, the See It Choir, who owes a great deal to Mr. Perry for allowing us to be a part of several of his productions and movies and things of that sort. I definitely wanted us to throw our spin on it into the hat, into the race. So um, that was our first introduction into doing a virtual video, where what I did was I recorded all the parts, um, sent them out, laid out a guide track, and sent it out to the singers, and then they re-recorded the parts and they sent me their videos, and then we had a video engineer to put it together. Well, when we put that video out of our arrangement of "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," um, people couldn't believe it. Um,
It was amazing.
thank you, thank you. Um, and from there, it immediately jolted me to say, one, okay, this is a way for us to remain relevant in this season where we can't gather. Two, it also inspired me to create another stream, because what I also recognized was, just as we had to pivot, every other aggregation of people had to pivot as well. And not everybody had the know-how to know how to do it. So guess what? A strategy, another stream of income. So I created See It virtual videos, where I started consulting with churches and choirs who also wanted to create virtual videos for their groups. And so now
Look
on
at
the
God.
side, listen, that's all I'm gonna say. God is amazing. He'll give you a strategy. You see? And so strategy, ingenuity, that was another stream. And so then I started getting calls from universities who wanted to the University of North Carolina wanted their school to do their alma mater. So I consulted with them through that. The Delta Sigma Theta sorority wanted to do oh, you turn your head to the side. You're not a Delta, huh?
I'm not a Delta, but I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay. But they called. So, they called and I obliged. So we put together, for them, we put together a virtual video where they actually did a step routine. You know, so
Oh, okay.
so we were doing things that were innovative enough, and then we would market them, and I created a social media page and all that kind of stuff just for See It virtual videos. And so um, when life changes, when life throws you
Mm-hmm.
challenges, uh, if you're stuck in "this is the only way that what I do can be done," you're gonna be in trouble. So you have to be able to adjust, roll with the times,
Right.
not look for a reason to say, "Oh my God, I can't do what I do because we're in a pandemic." No, you've got to say, "Okay, Lord, show me how to do what I do." in a pandemic. And then God will
That's
give you a
amazing.
strategy. And you have to be open. That's the thing. You have to be open to rolling with the punches and rolling with the changes. And so that's how we did it.
That's just awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
I am really taken aback because I know I love gospel music and I love choirs and church, and not being able to go to church has really, really, really affected me in my household. My children walk around singing gospel songs like, Mom, I miss church. So
Yeah.
as you know, at the House of Hope Atlanta, we have services that we
Right.
record.
Right.
Me being a part of production, thank God I get my church,
Right.
you know? So
Exactly.
it's like God will provide a way. You just have to be
Exactly.
open to it. Somebody
Absolutely.
need to put that in the
Absolutely.
comments. God will provide a way if you're open to it.
If you're open
All
to
right.
it.
If you're open to it.
Hmm.
Because, a lot of businesses actually had to close their doors because they weren't open to setting up an online presence.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to make adjustments. You have to be okay. All right. This is the only way we can survive. So what can we do to survive? It's it. Your fight or flight has to kick in, and you have to find a way. Again, if this is the way, the only way that I can provide for my family, I'm going to. If I'm going down, I'm going down fighting. So I'm going to
Exactly.
try everything I can, to try to find a way to survive.
And that's another example of being your own brand because you started it with your own See It choir.
Right.
And
Correct.
without you taking that challenge, that idea may have never sparked. So
Absolutely.
that's a great example of just being your brand. You do it
Absolutely.
first, give people the model, and then the people will come. If you build it,
Absolutely.
they will come.
They will come. And that is that you're absolutely right. In being your own brand, you always represent your own brand. And so you always finding ways to better your own brand. And what happens is that in your doing what you can to better your own brand, God gives you strategy in order to inspire or have some means of you can satisfy a need that other people might have as well that are dealing with the same thing.
That is true. That is so true. So, in having a small business or starting a small business, being an entrepreneur, can you tell us what is the importance of branding itself?
So I mentioned before that when I started See It LLC, or when I started to See It brand, it started as a hashtag. It started as hashtag See It on all of my social media. That's the way people started, it started catching on. So with that in my mind, if I was going to have a logo created, I needed to create a logo that had the hashtag in it. Okay. So to me, that was the only way that I could brand See It because that's what everybody knows. They know hashtag See It. So it has to make sense. Well, then I sat down with a graphic designer. And when I sat down with the graphic designer, they asked me, what do you want? And I said, I want hashtag See It because that's what people know. They know it through social media. They know it's a hashtag. It has to say that. The graphic designer said to me, ready? And go. The graphic designer said to me that uh, that's nice, but a hashtag is not timeless. So
That's
with
that's
that,
a